Morning YouTube, this is Chuck Jennels and I want to welcome you to my channel. I've got a little different project. I've come up with something else I'm trying to build here, so I'll show you what I've done so far. I'm in the shop obviously. It's 101, it's supposed to hit 103 today. So everything I'm doing is in here, and it's only about 95 in here. So this is the mini wash plant, if you remember from one of the last videos. But notice here, this is an altogether different mat. And this is the mat that I made for when we had the duels between the two dredges, and one had the hog mat in it, and I had built this mat for it. And if you remember, this had a different mat. So what we have here is what's left of the mat from the mini wash plant. I've cut it up. And what I did, I had another sluice that had miner's moss in it. And I decided that I should have a cleanup sluice that's specific for that purpose. So I've got a prototype I'm working on here, and I'll show you that in a second. So here it is. This is a 33-inch, I'm not sure if this is a Keen or a Gold King sluice. It's a really old sluice, and it had the riffle rack and the miner's moss I showed you over there. And what I did was, this is the mat out of the wash plant. And it only has like 3 big riffles up here on the top, then it's all fine here. So I figured this would be good for doing black sand cleanups, which I've got tons of black sand. So what I did up here, I put an indicator mat in that goes full length, and just in case I want to use it in the stream someday, I can pull this box off, this little header box, and use it in the stream, because it's not bolted on or nothing. I just have 2 clamps holding it. So what I've got in here is a 750 gallon per hour pump on a special bracket that spaces it up about 2 inches off the bottom of this 17 gallon tub. Got a bucket here at the end that will catch all the black sands. We're going to power it over here with a power supply this time. This is a power supply I built years ago. But we're going to do the speed control with a speed controller right here. So that'll get all this working. And I'm going to, this is one of the buckets of black sand concentrates. I'm going to screen this down with a number 8 screen, 1/8 inch, 1/8 minus. And we'll work out of that 1/8 minus bucket. This is a 2 gallon bucket, and this is just one of many. That's one. This is one that's lots fuller. That's one. The one over there by the sluice. And I can't remember what this is, but this is a 5 that's about 1/3 full. So we'll get set up here and get screened, and I'll show you what's going to happen, I hope. Okay guys, what you see here is one of the buckets I've just started on, this one right there with the scoop in it. And I've got my 1/8 inch screen, and this material has a little bit of those clods that I did in one of the videos that we were breaking up at the wash plant. And I don't know if you can see this well, but look how much black sand. That's probably 75% black sand in that. But this 1/8 inch screen, a little bit of that. We'll pan that later. And just keep going through it and screening. But it's, that bucket, I don't know if you can see on that edge, that probably weighs about 50 pounds. That bucket. See if I can, oh yeah, you can see that. You can see the black sand right there. Lots of black sand. So this ought to be interesting doing this cleanup, and that's why I'm doing this, because of all those buckets you saw. I've got to get this out of the shop. So give me a second and we'll get fired up. Okay, so it's about 95 in the shop. I had to put the shop fan on. So this pump is the 750, and I'm running about 10 degrees slope. And I just did it with, I didn't use my other level. I just used this Empire level here. As you can see, that bucket's empty now. We're streamed into this one, so we're ready to go here in a few seconds. I think I'll shoot from this side for a while, then maybe move the camera to the other side so I have a different view. I'll be back. Okay guys, I'm going to make some water here. I'm going to leave the fan on. It's just way too hot. You can see the speed controller. I can speed it way up or turn it way down. So we'll play here a little bit with it. I'm going to run it a little slow at first. These riffles filled up right away in that one scoop. Black mat pretty much cleaned out. Now we get it down below. Flow looks pretty good. I think I need a little bit more speed though. A little bit more water. Even more water or more. One's not there. Not sure it's gold or not. And I got a little problem over here. For some reason I don't have enough flow there. This side's still about good. Okay, I'm seeing bubbles up on the black mat up there, you can see. So I'm going to put a little surfactant in here just to help things flow a little better. Let it go round and around for a bit. There we go. That's what I wanted. I lowered the speed back down. Okay, so I went up about an inch on the feed in, and I'm running about 10 degrees right now, and the water is pretty good. I'll bump the speed up here a little bit. Let me see how it feeds. Cleans out good. That's a good clean out. Now this is 8 minus. It might be that I might want to go to 12. It's in the 12 speed. I hope not. Let me take you in a little bit closer here. I'll show you what's going on. Yeah, I just made this little temporary header box here. And it's not fastened to anything, you know, it's just sitting there. It's about, half inch off the mat. There's the mat. And this little piece here, this holds the upper end of this mat. Right here, it just holds this in. And then we go from that riffle there to this riffle with a real fine that really catches. So it's flowing well. Alright guys, you can see now that I've got a more even flow black sand, almost even all the way across. I've got a slight leak going underneath my mat up here where that aluminum bar comes across. Right there. Right here, and right here I'm getting water underneath my mat, and it's lifting the mat, so that's part of my problem. So I'm going to shut her down here in a minute. We'll glue that up, and maybe have to continue this tomorrow. Alright guys, this was such a short run. I was going to show you how easy this is to clean up, but I got doing it before I realized what I was doing. So we're going to, got the sluice sitting over there, and got our cons over here. There aren't a lot, but we're going to paint it anyhow, so you're going to see it when I see it. But what I'm hoping is, now after I seal the box, we'll have it dialed in and we'll be good to go, and then I can run a little bit faster without getting water all over the floor and all that good stuff. Here, there's one up there and one in there. It's very small. Oh, and one over there. There's three. So there is gold in here, this color. So I'm happy with that. That's all I'm going to show you out of this batch, and we'll wait till we get some real color going. So guys, I got a rock in the pan so you can see some of this color. There's actually, it was 30 colors in there, most of it fly poop. And this is actually the bigger stuff, so if I get away from that rock, it'll probably blur on me a little bit, but it's all along this edge of the pan. But, you know, there it is. So we picked up some decent color for that, probably 8 or 9 tablespoons of black sand. So we're in the process of fixing the sluice, and we'll be back at it another day. Alright guys, like I said before, this is a prototype. I'm just kind of trying things to see what works best, and I didn't like the way this was flowing with the hose in the top, so I moved it to the back. You gotta remember, this is all scrap material that I've had laying around the shop, and I'm building it from scrap, so it seems to be working better now, so I'm going to run a little bit more material for you. I just wanted to give you a close-up what I did here. I've got a 90-degree hose barb here with an electrical conduit, half-inch lock nut here and an O-ring, and the same on the inside of the lock nut and an O-ring. Half-inch going down to a 750 pump down here that's just working great. I'm going to try to zoom here. This indicator mat has just got gold everywhere. You can see it right where my finger is, right here. There's a whole string of gold here going down, across over there. There's a piece up here, there's 2 or 3 up there. And you can see how fast this machine is running. I'm about maybe 50% on my speed control, and it's, you know, it's a 750, so we'll put this in. I'm doing this left-handed, so, and it clears out not too fast, but it does clear out pretty good. So I think the settings are right, and I like the way it's working. I've done away with these 2 clamps. I had a clamp here and a clamp on the other side holding this down. And since the modification, now I don't need that because there's no pressure on the hose pulling on the little header box. But where we're catching gold, we've only run probably 40 of these tablespoons here so far today. But I'll keep after it and show you what I get. It's real hot again today outside too, so I brought my panning station in, set it up. These are the long legs, so this puts it almost at waist height. I'm going to clean up. We run about 15 minutes and getting good color, and we're getting a lot of black sand hanging up in the mat. So we're going to do a little clean up here and see what we get. So what we'll do, this is really easy to clean up now too. I just pull this header off and just put him in the tub. So then I can pull the mat. I'm not going to be able to do this and show you exactly what I do, but all I'm going to do is take it loose here and pull it out and put it in a bucket. So I'll be back when I get it in the pan. Okay, this is another 15-minute run. You can see there's little pieces of gold just everywhere. Not so much down in here, but up here, especially in there where these beads are, like bloodshot. Can't see that in the black sand until you start working. You can see the gold right there. So we'll do a cleanup on this next. Guys, I just finished panning this out, and there's no way possible to get all of the gold out of that. There's a lot of 50 mesh in there, and if you don't know what 50 mesh is, it's 50 holes per inch in the screen. So this is 50 minus stuff that's left in this pan underneath this black sand. And this was from that last run, and you can see it's solid black sand, and there is a teeny bit of gold in there, but it's 50 mesh, and I did pick up some 50. And I'll get a clean pan and show you how much gold was in that. And to take 2 hours to pan it, you cannot do that on a stream if you're running a dredge. You need that dredge running and running material through it so you get more gold, and then do like we're doing now. But I think what we may do, I think I'm going to end up purchasing a miller table to rerun this stuff again, and I've rescreened the what you call it? Oh my! I've been out here too long. All the cons in that bucket there, I rescreened that to 20 mesh to feed it into the sluice. And I think it's going to run better, and I don't have to run it quite as fast, and it'll clean up quicker, so I can run more cons per 15-minute run. So we'll see if I'm right. Okay, that's about as close as I can get. That's a little rock that I have to focus on here, and that's a lot of gold right there. I can't weigh it yet, but that's a lot of gold, and I just wanted to show you what we got out of the last run. Now, this material had already been run through the dredge and panned at the creek, and then it's run through the sluice, and then it's panned again here, and that's pretty impressive how much is still there. And if you're not running your material through a miller table or like we're doing here, and this will be a two-step thing, even if I have to go to even the blue ball. I have a blue bowl laying here in the shop. So anyhow, thanks for watching this one. This is getting horribly long, so I'm going to kill this one here and maybe do another one as a follow-up after we get the buckets done, because I'm only a third of the way through one bucket, one 3-gallon bucket. I'm sorry, one 2-gallon bucket. So hope you enjoyed this. Hope you didn't get bored. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, share, subscribe, and may the bottom of your pan be gold forever. Thanks for watching.